Hi, this is Zubin Vevaina from A to Z Graphology and welcome to today's video. Now we are going to learn about the capital letter W. The capital letter W and the small letter w is similar in structure. Not always the same, but it's mostly similar. Why? Because normally we see that the small letter w is written as two U formations where there's a curve, and normally when you see a capital letter W, it actually looks like two V's are joined together. There are sharp angles at the root chakra level. So what does the capital letter W mean? It's not a problem to write a W like this. It's not a problem to write a curved capital W. But why do we normally see a capital letter W with sharp points? What does capital W mean? It means that how you want to start learning something or initiating something from a confirmed source. Just as how small w shows how we receive knowledge or learn something from a confirmed source like a book, a teacher, or a college institution, education institution, where we can go back to the person or go back to that place to learn. That same concept is used in a capital letter, but the person wants to initiate that thought process as a starting energy. This is the way he wants to start something. He wants to start something in a confirmed manner. If he wants to learn something, he wants to start it off in a assured manner. Now, when you're starting to learn something new from a confirmed source, whether it be a teacher, whether it be a school or a college, the selection of the college or the selection of the teacher is a critical process, right? Later on, you can relax and have a smooth W formation like a curve over there, which allows you to grasp the knowledge easily and have patience while you're grasping the knowledge. But what about the capital letter W where it is sharp? Here it's actually showing that before you select an educational institution or a teacher to teach you about something in a confirmed regular manner, we have to be very selective and specific about what we want. Let's take for example, if I want to learn graphology for instance, I along with many teachers are there who can teach you graphology. But who do you want to go to learn graphology? Do you want to go to somebody else? Do you want to go to somebody in the USA or in India or in Germany? Anywhere. So you got multiple choices of a teacher. You got multiple choices for institutions. And especially in today's world, education has got various sources. One of the biggest being the internet. Right now, you are sitting or standing somewhere in the world watching this video. You have chosen to come to the video to learn something. If it's consistent, thank you. Welcome to the video. But what I'm saying is that the initial process of selecting an educational institution or a teacher is a bit critical. That's why we want to be sharp, know what we want to study, know what kind of teacher, what level of teaching that we require, and then we continue our process. If the person has a capital letter W which looks like this, where it is curved below, not sharp, there could be a casual kind of a approach, a kind of a, I won't say lethargic, but a very casual, chilled out kind of an approach for selecting the teacher or the institution. Now, this depends on the place or the location where you're staying. If you are surrounded by good schools and institutions and good teachers, then making a choice doesn't make much of a difference. So, if you are in a comfortable place, highly developed place where teachers and educational institutions are good and there's not much of a difference in terms of choice, then this would work out as a capital letter W. Otherwise, it's not really recommended because it would make you lethargic while the selection process is going on, and then later on if you come to know that you could have got a better education, then you may feel a regret. So this is a much better capital W to write, and it allows you to make a better selection process. Now what if the center peak is not as high as the earlier one? Earlier we saw the peak going all the way up. So what if the peak goes all the way up, and what if the peak goes halfway? What is the chakra system trying to tell you? That this person's selection process in terms of a teacher or an educational institution could be related to an emotion. Maybe that person likes that teacher. They want to be associated with that teacher because the way the teacher talks, the way they explain it, that is what you like, and that is what the selection process is being influenced towards. If you got a sharp W going all the way up, especially the middle one, the middle spike, that is showing that it doesn't really matter what your emotion is, you logically want to vibe with that teacher. That level of knowledge, that level of explanation is more important than whether you like the teacher or not. So in the case of the person having a different kind of a W in the height, it could also mean, it could influence the way the person chooses the type of teacher or the educational institution. If you are in a business and you are training your subordinates and you're training your employees, if they have this kind of a capital W, that means they are going to initiate the program or the process of learning at a technical standard of learning. But these people, they would like to learn something more out of a desire or a choice or an emotion of wanting to learn more. If you have a student who writes like this, now what's happening? What if that center pike becomes a curve? That means that the selection process of being affirmative on that selection is now taking its own time. These people take time to decide whether they would like to learn or not, whether they would want to start the process of learning or not. It tends to make the person not very active in terms of the selection process, and it may delay later on the way the person learns things. Now this delay, remember, it's not a big time delay, it's just that the person feels comfortable when they are not rushed. So at the exam hall or at the admission hall, where the person has to select which college he wants to go to, this person is going to have a sharp immediate reaction. Oh, I like this college, let's go for it. Period. No choice is required. This person is going to have 2 to 3 options, 4 to 5 options in front of him, and in a way gets not confused but just takes the time, tries to weigh the different options. Okay, this institution could have these opportunities, that one has got the better teachers, this one is closer to my home, this one has got an opportunity for overseas education. So there are many options. The person is trying to take time before they select. Alright, so just make sure that it depends on the situation. If you have a choice, then this is good. If you don't have a choice or you don't want a choice while selecting or starting something new, then this is better. What would happen if a person has a loop in the capital W? What if the capital W has a loop? Now I know that I've made these curved. Curve or angle has a different explanation. What we are trying to focus here is the capital letter W having a loop. A loop means that the person is now going to have a complication or a confusion while selecting the teacher. This person is trying to be creative with their purpose of learning while selecting a teacher. which completely negates the desire for selecting altogether. Before you select a teacher, you should first know what you want to learn. Once that is clear and once that decision is sharp, like the sharp W center pike, then the teacher is ready for you. But if you're not ready, or if you're not focused or not having a choice, you don't know really what you want to do, and then let's say society or your parents or somebody is going to just tell you just go on and study, do something, then this is what you're going to wind up with. This is what's happening where the student has entered the college, they don't know why they started it, they don't know why they started learning from here, they don't know why that teacher is teaching them things which they don't know why they're going to use it. So in this capital letter W, if you have a loop, it's not a good sign. Just see the beauty of our environment. When we think about the occurrence of capital letter W, it comes way more often than capital letter V. Isn't it strange that the capital letter V and W are almost similar in structure, barring the double effect in W? But isn't it more weird that the capital letter V comes extremely rare in the handwriting sample and capital W could come even more often? Especially when you have questions like where, what, who, why, where the capital W is written quite often. It's because our mind or our education system or the way we bring up our children in current society, and in fact since the last couple of 100 years, the point is that education and learning has been from a confirmed source more than through observation. Observing something and suddenly understanding something is a very rare feat that requires a really another level of awareness, and it's kind of like a gift. Sometimes in your life you may have an epiphany, you may have a sudden eureka moment, and that doesn't happen very often. But the eureka moment can happen very often with a teacher, because the teacher knows that when the student understands something new and they get it, that is easier to replicate in an education institution or in front of a teacher. So if you see, the letter structure is also influencing the occurrence rate of it in the language. Graphology can come to know so many things about the language itself. Do you have a native language where one letter comes more often than another letter? Try to analyze its structure. Share those structures with me. Let us understand why a certain letter comes more often than another. Alright? This is a really exciting concept which we will explain further on when we do combinations of letters. Alright? So, thank you for watching the capital letter W video. I'm sure things are going to spark in your mind, especially if you're a student and you want to select a college institution or a teacher. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.